Dear students, in the previous class we have studied what is the difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis. We have also studied the industrial applications of the catalyst. Today we are going to discuss on photochemistry. What is photochemistry? சென்ற வகுப்பிலே வினையூக்கிகளினுடைய தொழிற்சாலை பயன்களை நாங்கள் படித்தோம். இந்த வகுப்பிலே ஒளிவேதியியல் நாங்கள் படிக்க போறோம். என்ன ஒளிவேதியியல் அப்படின்னா என்ன அப்படின்னா, சில வினைகள் ஒளி கதிர்வீச்சுகளின் மூலமாக நடைபெறுகின்றன. ஒளிக்கதிர்களை உறிஞ்சி அதிலிருந்து வரக்கூடிய ஆற்றலை பெற்று வினையில் ஈடுபடுகின்றன. அந்த மாதிரி வினைகள் தான் ஒளி வினைகள் எனப்படும். அதை பற்றி படிப்பதுதான் ஒளிவேதியியல். இந்த பாடத்திலே ஒளி வினைகளை பற்றி நாங்கள் படிக்க போறோம். See, what is photochemistry? There are some reactions which takes place by the absorption of radiation or by the absorption of light. Usually the light is visible light and UV light, ultraviolet and visible radiation is absorbed by some of the chemical substances, thereby they undergoes chemical change. Usually they absorb light from the region UV visible, that is 7500 Armstrong to 2000 Armstrong unit. They absorb light from the region 2000 Armstrong unit to 500 Armstrong unit, that is UV and visible region. They absorb radiation, they absorb light and get excited and they undergoes a chemical change. Such reactions are called photochemical reaction. We are going to study about the photochemical reaction. That study is called photochemistry. In the photochemistry, there are some laws governs the photochemical reactions. The first law is Groters-Draper's law. Groters-Draper's law. According to Groters and Drapers, there are two scientists. They are giving the correlation between the chemical change and the amount of light absorbed or the amount of radiation absorbed. According to them, they state that not all the light absorbed by chemical substances will produce a chemical change. When the light falls on any chemical substance, not all the radiation produces chemical change. Only that light which is absorbed by the chemical substance, that alone produces a chemical change. See, when the light is absorbed, some of the light is absorbed and some of the light is emitted. The absorbed light alone undergoes a chemical change. So, a light which produces a light which is absorbed by the chemical substance, that alone produces a chemical chain. The chemical substance which absorbs radiation, that chemical substance alone undergoes a photochemical reaction. That is called Grother's-Draper's law. That is, when the radiation falls, when the light falls on the chemical substance, not all the light produces the chemical chain, not all the light leads to the photochemical reaction. Only that light which is absorbed by the chemical substance, that alone produces a chemical chain, and that chemical substance alone will undergo the photochemical reaction. So, what happens? When the light is falls on any chemical substance, some of the light is absorbed and some of the light is emitted. The light which is emitted will not produce the chemical chain. The light which is absorbed by the chemical substance, that produces the chemical chain. So therefore, Grother's-Draper's law states that the light which is absorbed by the chemical substance, that alone produces the chemical chain. This law is called Grother's-Draper's law, and this law is also called, it is a principle of photochemical activation. It is a principle of photochemical activation. Okay, it is the principle of photochemical activation. That is, the light which is absorbed, thereby the molecules get excited or gets activated, and they undergo a photochemical reaction. The next law we are going to study is Starr-Einstein's law. What is Starr-Einstein's law? Starr and Einstein in 1905, okay? In 1905, Starr and Einstein, who made this law about the photochemical reaction. This law is also called law of photochemical equivalence. This is also called law of photochemical equivalence. It is also called a law of photochemical equivalence. According to this law, they said that in a photochemical reaction, each molecule of a reacting substance absorbs one quantum of radiation, causing that particular reaction. See, every one molecule of the reacting substance will absorb a quantum of radiation. Okay, each and every molecule absorbs one quantum of radiation, thereby it undergoes a photochemical reaction. What is one quanta? One quanta is nothing but, remember, the light is propagated in the medium in the form of packets or bundles. They are called photons or quantas. They have their own energy. That quanta is nothing but h nu. Every quanta of radiation has its own energy. E is equal to h nu, or we can say E is equal to n0 h nu x per mole. Okay, x per mole. That is, one molecule photochemical chain. Thereby it undergoes a photochemical reaction. This is called Einstein's law, and it is also called law of photochemical equivalence. The energy of each and every quanta of radiation is nothing but N0 into H into nu. What is this N0? Remember this, or we can say this is energy absorbed per mole of the substance. Okay? The energy absorbed per mole or per molecule. The energy absorbed per mole is equal to one quanta of radiation. That is nothing but E is equal to N0 H nu. What is N0? That N0 is nothing but Avogadro number. Okay? N0 is Avogadro number. What is Avogadro number value? It will be 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23. Okay, and what is this H? H is Planck's constant. Okay, Planck's constant, whose value is 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joules second. Okay, it is the joule second. When we substitute these two values in this equation, we get the energy of each and every quanta of radiation. Okay, so therefore I can substitute this value. Okay, when I substitute this value, E is equal to, what is N0? 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23, and H is 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34. Okay, what is nu? This nu is nothing but C by lambda. What is C? Velocity of light. Okay, we are substituting the velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by lambda. Okay, we get the energy of each and every photon. Okay, after substituting this, I am getting the value of E is equal to 11.97 divided by lambda into 10 to the power of 5 kilojoules per mole. This is the energy of each and every quanta of radiation. Listen, the energy is inversely related with the wavelength. When the wavelength is very short, the frequency will be very high. When the frequency is high, the energy of quanta of radiation will be high. So, greater and greater the wavelength, lesser will be the value of energy. If the wavelength is very small, very short, the frequency of radiation will be very high. Automatically, the energy of radiation will be very high. This quantity E is called 1 Einstein. What is 1 Einstein? 1 Einstein is nothing but the energy absorbed per mole of the substance. Okay, this is the energy of quanta of radiation. This energy E is equal to energy absorbed per mole of the substance. energy absorbed per mole of the substance, which is nothing but 1 Einstein. Okay, this is 1 Einstein. This is equal to 1 Einstein. So therefore, according to law of photochemical equivalence, that is according to Stark-Einstein law, the energy absorbed by 1 mole of a chemical substance is 1 quanta of radiation. That is, each and every molecule will absorb 1 quanta, 1 N0H nu of radiation and causes a photochemical change. This is about Stark-Einstein's law. Next we are going to study the next topic. All these are very, very important 2 mark questions. Next topic is quantum yield or quantum efficiency. Okay. Yield or quantum efficiency. Listen, quantum yield or quantum efficiency of a photochemical reaction actually represents how much amount of radiation is absorbed. Because of that, how much amount of photochemical reaction was occurred. This is what given by quantum yield. Actually, quantum yield or quantum efficiency is represented by a letter phi. It is the ratio between, okay, it is the ratio between number of molecules reacting in a given time divided by number of quanta absorbed. Number of quanta absorbed in a given time. This ratio is called quantum efficiency. Quantum efficiency அப்படின்னா குவாண்டம் விளைச்சல், அதாவது எவ்வளவு கதிர்வீச்சு உறிஞ்சப்படுவதனாலே எந்த அளவுக்கு ஒளிவினை நடந்திருக்கிறது அதுதான். This is quantum efficiency is the ratio between the number of molecules reacting in a given time and how much number of quanta absorbed in a given time. All the same, quantum efficiency can be written as, okay, number of moles reacting. Number of molecules are nothing but number of moles reacting in a given time divided by, okay, divided by number of Einsteins absorbed. In a given time, we can write, or in the same time. See, the number of quanta absorbed is nothing but the number of Einsteins absorbed. What is Einstein? Number of quanta of radiation absorbed per mole of a substance. Okay, you can also write down like this. The quantum efficiency can be given like this, or can be given like this, or we can also write it as number of molecules reacted in a given time divided by total number of quanta of radiation absorbed. This is the ratio between these two values gives the quantum efficiency or quantum yield. Usually, if any reaction obeys this law, okay, if the reaction obeys this law, then quantum efficiency will be equal to 1. But there are some cases, the quantum efficiency may be greater than 1 or may be less than 1, depending upon the nature of photochemical reaction. Okay, in most of the cases, the the quantum efficiency is always greater than 1 or 2. Okay, for that, because they undergo some complementary photochemical reactions. So, if any reaction is having quantum efficiency unity, that means it perfectly obeys quantum efficiency or quantum laws. Okay, it may be, but most of the reactions do not obey exactly all the photochemical laws. The quantum efficiency may be less than 1 or greater than 1 or may be equal to 1. So, this is about the quantum efficiency. So, dear students, today we have studied 3 2-mark questions. What are they? That is, what is Grother's-Drapert's law? Second one, what is Starr-Einstein's law? Third one, what is quantum efficiency or define quantum efficiency? Okay, the next topic we will study in the next class.